Tanaku everyone. My name's Padre Chris, and welcome you all here as we gather for this memorial service for Catherine Ann Hannagan. And I wish to offer my sympathies to her family, to Chris and to Carol. And I know you're very much here amongst family of the Chatham Islanders, because the Chatham Islanders are a family. And we're going to hand over now to Bridget Priest, and she's going to read a poem for us.
In a garden where the flowers bloom, a gentle spirit finds its room. With petals soft and colours bright, you brought us joy, you brought us light. With hands that pickled summer's best, you captured flavours, never rest. In jars of joy you sealed the sun, a taste of life, a race well run. The dill and garlic spices sweet, in every bite your heart would meet. You shared your bounty, love's embrace, in every meal we found your trace. So here's to you, dear friend of ours, a life well lived among the flowers. In every bloom and every jar, we'll hold you close, no matter how far. Rest now in peace, your work is done. In gardens bright, you'll always run, with flowers blooming and flavours true. Forever cherished, we will remember you.
Thank you, Bridget. For those of you who know Catherine, the poem relates very much to the person that she was. Just as a little bit of an introduction, Catherine was born on the 9th of April 1962, and she passed away the 26th of April this year. And Catherine came to be in the Chathams because it was her husband's, Chris's, dream. And she came to realise that dream. We're going to hear more about Catherine's life now. I'd like to invite forward a good friend, Lisa, to give the eulogy and Thanksgiving as well.
Excellent. Right, this is from Catherine's family and also from Chris as well. So the Ward family eulogy for Catherine Hannagan. Catherine was the eldest of 4 children, living initially in Cath, where her dad Ivan had his first job as a veterinarian surgeon. Settling back into New Zealand after studying in Sydney, where he met and married his wife Rosemary, a nurse. That was in the days before kiwi fruit invaded the rolling dairy farms in the Bay of Plenty. The growing family moved first to Masterton and then in 1964 to Martinborough in the Wairarapa as Ivan took up successful appointments. That town became the home to the family and to Catherine as she lived in and near the town until she and Chris made the move to the Chatham Islands. As the eldest child, Catherine pioneered the way for her siblings. She set us an example to follow, and at schools, a reputation to be compared to. From the beginning, she has been supportive, big sister to Debbie, Richard and Michael, growing up in what would now be called a lifestyle block, and with Dad's work, animals were a huge part of her life. Her dad was a vet. Whether feeding the pigs, the chooks, butchering a sheep, or trying to ride Guy and Tuppence, the horses that somehow they had care of, it wasn't a surprise that Catherine got involved in the Young Farmers Club, nor that at the end of her secondary schooling she decided to study agriculture at Lincoln College. However, that course required a certain amount of practical farming experience prior to entry, so Catherine set out and made the most of the local networks to get a job. She also got her first car, a light blue Austin A60 van, which could be made to backfire impressively. And her first dog, Ben. He was one of a litter of 13 pups that Dad had delivered by caesarean section, a surgical event that involved the whole family. As we took turns massaging the emerging pups into regular breathing patterns before placing them on the heat pad. After Catherine had raised him, I don't remember Ben becoming an outstanding sheepdog under her care, but he was a very friendly pet. Over the years, her animal focus grew, with Chris's support to include cats, Highland cattle, donkeys, and of course greyhounds. Catherine worked on at least 2 farms, but she sometimes seemed to be more the farm's family babysitter than the trainee shepherd. However, it was an early indication that she was great with children, but she always said she was happy just to borrow them and could give them back at the end. In 1980, her hunt for another farming position found her working for a former dairy farmer who created Aotearangi, one of the first vineyards in Martinborough. She put aside her ideas of studying agriculture instead of worked alongside Clive, Peyton and other wine pioneers in the region, helping to bring their dreams to reality, learning everything she needed to know to manage a productive vineyard. After a time, she moved to another new vineyard, a larger Kaiterangi, where she also gained the skills and knowledge to become assistant winemaker before moving on to Gladstone Vineyard. On these vineyards, she eventually moved into more administrative roles of event managing, sales and shipping, the later being the skills that she was able to use in her position at Moana Fisheries in Chatham Islands. Along the way, she also sold Tupperware, gained her bar licence, and lived and ran one of the local dairies. Involvement in the local community was something Catherine hugely valued and put immense energy into. That meant she was a great source of local information on and events. Some would denigrate this by calling it gossip, but would also lend her time and skills, networking and energy into community events. Her community contributions began in her teens when she was a Sunday school teacher, a soccer coach, then later a cub leader, before moving on over the years to putting her time and energy into the play centre and into various church community events, including the annual flower show and fairs. Perhaps the most public of these activities was her role as a volunteer ambulance officer and driver for St John's. This involves significant training to a level that sometimes she filled in at the emergency department at Masterton Hospital. It also meant she got to take the ambulance home for evenings and weekends when she and Chris were living on their lifestyle block just out of Martinborough. Throughout her life, Catherine was prepared to follow the interests and passions, to give things a go, learn on the way, to value people and relationships, and to put in the time and energy to make things happen. These are the characteristics and values she took into her relationship with Chris, and together they developed their property in Martinborough, and again when they embarked on the adventure to the Chatham Islands. In the weeks before she died, Catherine had her 63rd birthday, and she and Chris celebrated 30 years of marriage. Together they were welcomed to the Chatham Islands community, and we greatly appreciate the expressions of love and support this community has given to Catherine and Chris through their time on the Chatham Islands, and particularly during her illness and to Chris in his weeks since Catherine's death. Sorry, I've blown this all up into 24 font, so that's why it looks so big. They still had plans and dreams that they were going to work on together to make realities over there. But we know that by her involvement in the community as a martyr, she has enriched the lives of many through her work and loving friendships. Finally, thank you to the many folk who have contributed to the online tributes page for Catherine. Your words are gifts and treasures we celebrate well, which celebrate well the person that Catherine was. With our love, Rosemary, Debbie, Richard and Michael. This one's from Jessica, one of Catherine's nieces. Catherine was an auntie. Catherine was always the cool, fun auntie with a wicked sense of humour, and she would always call you Fred. I have fond memories of staying with Catherine when we would do cooking, baking, hanging out with the donkeys. Catherine was always very thoughtful and made sure everyone was well looked after. She helped set up a range of opportunities for me that I wouldn't otherwise have experienced. One time she organised a spot for me in a pony club camp and the horse for me to borrow so I could participate. Some years later she set me up with my first job at Gladstone Winery in the restaurant as a dishwasher. I would pay her back by labelling and packaging a ridiculous amount of wine bottles for her when orders were flying in. Catherine was also great finding things to do or places to run away to. This could just be slipping into the kitchen to prepare food, which she managed to do at my wedding. I will be forever grateful for the delicious crayfish and pawa, or the time when we ran away from a gathering at Nana's house and went to visit her friend down the road. I will hold onto these memories and many more. Here is a whakatauki that I think sums up Catherine. I've been practicing this. Mā te manaaki e te tangata ui ai te mana tu ai te mana. By providing hospitality to people, mana is acquired, Fred. This is Chris's daughter Carol, and she would like to say a few words.
Thank you all for being here. There are no rules, Cath would say, whenever I turned up to her place exhausted, needing to rest and escape from the world, still asking permission to take up space in her and Dad's home. What are you eating at the moment? Cath had asked, before preparing something succulent and tasty from seemingly nowhere. So delicious, so retro. Always bed made, a space to myself. Always made to feel welcome. Always a calm, constant, and steady kindness. That feeling of coming home, even though I'd never actually lived there, no matter where, knowing there's a sanctuary gave me courage to try harder, reach further, achieve more. And when the chips were really down, knowing I had somewhere to go to lick my wounds, heal and recover was everything. Cath, wherever you are, I've always been in awe of how skilled you are, seemingly at everything you turned your hand to. Something new every time I showed up, you'd been at something new. I've always admired how you bring people together and inspire amazing things to happen. Your finger on the pulse, literally, figuratively, bringing order from chaos, saving and changing lives in so many ways. You knew where everything was and what needed to be done, and somehow it always came together. I've loved how relaxed and sharing you are with your loved ones, the coming, the going, the trust, the openness that you inspire. Dad said the other night, captain of the ship is gone, and he spoke true. Untethered, my anchor cut loose. I miss you.
This is from Chris. Chris would like to express some thank yous. He would like to thank all of their friends who have sent messages of condolences. He thanks those workmates of Catherine's and community members who have directly expressed their sorrow and best wishes for Chris's future to him. He would like to thank those who have assisted him, be it meals, koha, kindness and shown love. And for those who have assisted with today. Finally, he would like to thank those who have visited Catherine in Christchurch to say goodbye, and those of you who are here today. Chris's door will always be open. This is a poem that Bubbles has given me. She's sorry that she couldn't be here today. Don't grieve for me, I am free. I am following the path that was laid for me. I took the hand that, when I heard the call, I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work or play. Tasks left undone must stay that way. I found that peace of close of day. My parting has left a void. Then fill it with remembered joy. A friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Ah yes, these things I too will miss. Be not burdened with times of sorrow. I will wish you sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full, I savoured much, good times, good friends, I loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief, don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your hearts and share with me, they wanted me now, they set me free.
Thank you, Lisa. I know you've done a lot of work by preparing it today. You've done it so well. We now have an open floor, so if anyone wants to speak about Catherine, you're very welcome to. And I'd like to invite forward just first Tony from Moana, please.
Terry.
I got that wrong, didn't I? Terry, sorry.
Close enough. Three.
Kia ora everyone. A lot of you people here know me, and some of you don't. So I am not Tony, I'm Terry, and I reside in Wellington and work in Moana, New Zealand. So obviously, a privilege for me to say a few words here today. Very special occasion for me. So I'll just cover off a couple of things. I suppose, first of all, we know how magnificent Catherine was for us at Moana, New Zealand, and I'll reflect on that a little bit earlier, but I think later. But what I could do is just talk about a couple of personal things that I had here with Catherine on the Chathams, and I go back a few years, I suppose, when she was working at the Hotel Chathams, and I was coming over quite regularly every 3 weeks, and I was leaving on a Friday, and I think she had only just started there, and I hadn't seen her there before, so I was checking out, so it was a very quick hello and goodbye. And a few weeks later, I came back to the Chathams, and in her cheeky little grin that she had, she's sitting in her office, she goes, "You again?" I said, "That's right, Catherine, lovely to see you." She goes, "You're in room such and such and such and such." And for those who know me, I'm a bit of a TV addict and I watch a lot of TV, and not that scholastic when it comes to electronics. And I stuffed up the TV, so I walked down to the reception and said, "Sorry, Catherine, any chance you get someone to come and check out the TV for me? I think I stuffed it up." So she came up and fixed it, and she says, "Don't touch it again." With her grin on her face, and I thought, Jesus, I've got to be careful here. So it was great. So some years later, we had the privilege of Catherine working for us at Moana, New Zealand. And what a magnificent lady she was for us at Moana, New Zealand. And she was our mother, to be fair. We had quite a few staff coming and going, and she was our glorified camp mother, kept everything going, just flowing. I remember one time we were quite busy, and we were all getting a little bit grumpy, and there was a few things going on in the factory and a few things going on in the smoker room, and we had a bit of a meeting, and I wasn't steering the meeting, and Catherine was, and it was very productive, and we came to the end of it. But again, Catherine sort of said, "Look, people, we just got to get on with it." Again, with that cheeky grin, and just amazing. But the following day, Catherine pulls up, and she's got all this wonderful food. She's been baking all afternoon, all night, because we had a few words, as we're doing the working life and bits and pieces. Not with her, it was mainly, she was having the words to me and a few of the other staff. But she turned up with all this baking. And, she looked after us so well. And I know some of the staff who are here today also were the benefit of that, and also ones that aren't here with us now who have moved on to other jobs. And just a special person for us down at Moana. Our privilege, and I thank you, Chris, for sharing Catherine with us at Moana, New Zealand. God bless to you, Catherine. You were wonderful for us at Moana, a wonderful person, a wonderful friend to me. I hope you travel well. And Chris, as you know, Catherine was part of our Moana whānau, and you are part of our Moana whānau as well. So, God bless to you. Kia ora tātou.
You don't have to give us an impressive speech as that if you want to speak.
My name's Tony Focus. I've been out here for a few years. Sorry, Moana, we're not trying to hold the microphone. I'm just speaking more as a friend. Yeah, like Terry, I met Catherine and at the hotel, and then worked with her. And I just want to acknowledge her. And she's got a lot of friends in Wellington, Mike, Susie, Zach, and the team there who are thinking of her, couldn't be here today. I just wanted to say to you, Chris, they're thinking of you and Catherine today. And it's not the same, but we'll get on as you'd expect us to. So,
Thank you.
Most of you will know that Catherine basically helped run this place. I've been holding it in for 5-6 weeks. She did everything. It was one of those things was, oh, we're out of this. It's okay, bring Catherine. Catherine, I need this. Catherine, have you got this? And I don't know if you've seen her shed or Chris's shed and the container, but you open it up and there is anything you could ever need. Baskets, jars, platters, like it's crazy. I don't know if she's a hoarder or if it's just one day I'll need it. Clearly we did. She was a massive part of the den, the pig hunting competition. Eileen will agree, the fun run. She's one of those people where when you first meet her you're like, whoa, what did she say? And then you get to know her and you're like, oh, that's just her personality and it's just her bluntness. Yeah, good sparring partner for you, Dad. She's done so much for the den, and we really felt it when she left, and I couldn't stop, and I had to go, and you really notice how much she actually did, even though we knew it, but when she's gone and you have to do it, you really notice just how much she does for this place and any other community event on this island. She's the first person to put her hand up or just turn up, and she's usually got a plan before you do, and yeah, we're really going to miss her, and like Moana, you're a part of the Den family too, Chris.
Hi, I'm Rian. I've obviously worked very closely with Catherine over the past 2 years almost, and not wanting to repeat things that have been said by those that have worked with her longer. I'll keep it short. Obviously work closely together, sharing the same office space, seeing each other daily. He was probably the person I saw first in the day, most days. And yes, we learned each other's styles, our quirkiness at work. So we had our moments too, where things got a bit heated, but we stuck our ground. And as commented, Catherine was so respectful of things, and she at times would have said things you would have seen as criticism, which wasn't. She was still supportive, but she wanted to get a point across, and then she was supportive and helped you make it happen. So that I appreciate. She was a very busy person. That's all been said. I'll just repeat. Coming to work early in the morning, then it would be early in the morning for a loadout, maybe doing paperwork for that, getting it out, getting on with office work, going into town to pick up the mail, going up to one of the houses to fix things there, getting out in the garden outside the office to pull a few weeds, busy. And I appreciated that. I've had to inherit and take over quite a bit of what she's done. She's left the roadmap in a way, because she's very detailed, so a lot of papers in the office. But it's helped me to find the breadcrumbs. So very methodical, systematic, and I could use that to guide me. So very grateful for that. She did a lot of improvements, and yes, a passion for people. Repeating myself now, but at times people saw this criticism. I was in the background, and I could see where it was coming from, and we reflected later on. She was so supportive and so helpful. But also, as we've heard, busy person. So if you're not moving, you're lazy. You need to be doing something. Again, it wasn't criticism. It was just you can get that done. Don't delay. Do it today. Which makes a lot of sense. So yes, I'll certainly miss Cath, and dearly I am missing her as a worker we had, but as a person. So yeah, I'm not finding the English word now, but I'm missing her dearly.
Hi everyone. I was so privileged to have Catherine run the business for about 4 years. I don't think she knows, seeing you guys all here today, how much we all loved her. I'm sure, just her not being around is just blowing me away. When COVID hit and she wasn't allowed to come to work, I didn't even know how to answer the phone. She was just that organised. There's nothing she couldn't do. I was very privileged to go and see her and say my goodbyes. And I just asked her, did she know if anything was going on with your body? And she said that she didn't. But I suspect that she did. And she was just so tough. And just soldiered on, and that's our Catherine. I love her, we all love her, and we will all miss her. Oh, I used to have one battle with her. F-POS receipts. She wouldn't let me throw one away. So we had like the whole of the hotel, just F-POS receipts. You know, every time she wasn't looking, bang, another bin would go. Next day, she'd know it was gone. Paperwork. Rion, I know. A stack this high. And I used to say, Cath, can we have some sort of system going on here? And then I'll ask for, the invoice for such and such. In a minute, third row down, there she'd pull it out. There's nothing she didn't know in her office. Love you, Catherine.
Kia ora koutou. Kia ora, Chris. I feel moved to come and stand and say something. Back in 2019, we did the first bike rally for prostate cancer. And it was Catherine that came to the fore to offer the support. And from there on, she came to every promotion that I held. Without ado, without thought of whatever else she was doing, she put that aside to be here. Catherine was very skilled in first aid, St. John's work, and she did everything to support who she could on that for any promotion that I did. Catherine and I were just talking a few months ago about doing mole mapping and working with Moana to do that. And we got to have 2 discussions about that, and unfortunately we didn't get that off the ground. But it's something that I'd like to see through to get that up and running in memory of her, because it was the last promotion that we talked about. But I also want to share that Catherine and I shared recipes. She's a great cook. She's a great baker. But recipes was something that we shared, and she gave me a favourite recipe of a chocolate coffee banana cake. And it's an amazing recipe, and I treasure that for always. The other thing that I had to call on Catherine for was also the vet, her knowledge around vetting for work. And I was approached by someone to, what do I do? My dog's got this, and my cat's got that. And I called on Catherine every time, and she followed through without, I could do it later or whatever. She just got up and did it. You could count on Catherine, and I did count on Catherine, and I miss you. All the best, Chris. You're part of our community, and we care for you, no matter what. Thank you for that.
Thank you everyone for lovely words you've spoken about Catherine. People like her don't come along every day, and someone who's so hard-working, so skilled, and so full of love. Some people, they're so full of love, they've got more, they haven't got enough just for their partner, their spouse, or for their children. They've got love for everyone, and Catherine's one of those people, and those people are very special. We're going to move now to the Memorial Garden, and we're going to plant a Pitukawa tree in memory of Catherine, and I'd like to invite forward John Priest. He's going to lead out with Catherine's ashes, followed by her family, Chris and Carol, and if everyone else would like to follow behind, please.